Hey y'all! So today's video was originally going to be the SpaceX launch that was planned for Wednesday, and then it got moved to Thursday, which is today, and now it's been moved to Friday. So hopefully it'll still happen tomorrow, and I'll have that video for you guys tomorrow to see. That's the fun thing about rocket launches. They get changed and canceled all the time, so we'll see how that goes. So instead of that, I decided I would do a little video to let you guys learn more about me. So first off, I created this channel to share my love of Disney with everybody and to meet other people that love Disney just as much as me. I also created it as a resource for people that have to eat gluten-free like me. When I lived out of state and was planning Disney trips, I would spend so much time researching restaurants to figure out what I could eat there. And I realized that there's not a ton of information. There's some good information out there, but some of it's out of date. So I wanted to provide more up-to-date information, especially now since we live here. I can go to different restaurants and I don't have to worry about like ruining my vacation because I pick a restaurant that doesn't have good options for me. So I wanted to help other people out so that they don't ruin their vacation by picking a restaurant that's not going to accommodate them. I will say though, Disney's pretty good about accommodating for allergies, but it's just, you know, what items might be on the menu that you may or may not like, and I want to help people out with that so that they can have a magical vacation as well, even with their food allergies. My first trip to Disney World was in 2001, I think. I was 5, my parents took me. I was terrified of absolutely everything. The only ride I would ride was It's a Small World, so I'm sure my parents loved me for that. After that, we went to SeaWorld pretty much once a year through elementary school. I loved SeaWorld. I loved seeing all the animals and especially the dolphins. I had a huge dolphin phase there for a while. I wanted to be a dolphin trainer when I grew up, so you know. After that, my Harry Potter phase started, and that was right around the time when Islands of Adventure opened up their Harry Potter world, and so my parents took me to that the month after it opened. It was a whole lot of fun. That was my first big ride that I rode was the ride that's inside Hogwarts Castle, and I loved it because I loved Harry Potter, and so I wasn't as scared of it. I was pretty much terrified of everything until I became an adult. The next time I went to Disney World was when I was 18. It was the summer before I started college. My parents took me because I had a martial arts tournament there. I used to actually compete in martial arts tournaments all around the country. So after the tournament, we took a couple days and went to Magic Kingdom and Epcot. This was where my love for Disney began because we were eating at Coral Reef in Epcot and they brought out dinner rolls that were gluten-free. I had never been to a restaurant that had gluten-free dinner rolls. And so I was sitting next to the sharks that were going by eating dinner rolls, and then they have their flourless chocolate cake, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm a princess. I'm able to eat all of this food that's gluten-free and nobody's really batting an eyelid or like saying like, oh no, we can't do that because you have an allergy. Funny story, the next day we went to Magic Kingdom and we probably got there around 10 a.m. Definitely not rope drop, but then we only stayed till about 2 p.m. because we were bored. The only ride I rode, I think, was Splash Mountain, and my dad had to bribe me with ice cream afterwards to get me on it. But as you can see in the picture, I looked like I was having more fun than my dad was actually riding it. Then spring of my sophomore year of college, my college roommate did Disney College program, and she invited me and one of our other college friends to come see her for spring break. So that was where my love of Disney really began, was with her, because she actually like taught me how to do the parks. And so I learned all the tips and tricks and really learned how to have a good time. She got me on Everest. That was when I realized, okay, maybe I can actually do rides and roller coasters and everything. I went back a couple times with my cousins that are Disney Vacation Club members. Then in January 2019, my husband and I went for our honeymoon to Disney World for about 10 days. And that was where my husband really fell in love with the parks and with Disney World. He hadn't been for about 10 years before that, and so a lot of things had changed and it was almost completely new to him. So some of my favorites. My favorite park is probably Magic Kingdom. I know that's a little cliche, but Animal Kingdom is a close second. I just really love the parades that Magic Kingdom has. The Move It, Shake It, Mouse Can Dance It that's going on right now is one of my favorites. You can ask my husband. I play the music from it constantly. so much that he just like hears it start and he's like, no, we're not doing this. I also love Festival Fantasy. I listened to that on YouTube all the time when I was studying during my graduate school and undergraduate career. My favorite resort that I've stayed at would have to be the Polynesian. It was really convenient for it to be on the monorail, even though it seemed like the monorail broke down as much as it was running. But to also have the boat transportation, I'm a huge Lilo and Stitch fan, and the room had Lilo and Stitch theming on it, and we ate at Ohana, and so that was really nice to just have that right there in our resort. The resort's beautiful. It smells really good too, which Disney people know there's certain smells with certain things, and Polynesian is one of my favorite Disney smells. Favorite snack, Dole Whip, hands down. I like to get the swirl with the vanilla soft serve. Dole Whip is gluten-free as long as it doesn't have any of the wafers or anything that they've done with some of their newer offerings. But Dole Whip's also dairy-free when you get it at the parks. When I add the vanilla swirl, that makes it not dairy-free. But my favorite thing to do is grab a Dole Whip and go sit on Main Street waiting for the Festival of Fantasy parade. That's like my go-to every time. My favorite restaurant would be Crystal Palace, I think. It's so hard to decide. There's so many. Like, I love Garden Grill, I love Tusker House, Ohana, but I think Crystal Palace takes the cake just because, one, it's in Magic Kingdom. It's got Winnie the Pooh and characters, and they're just really fun. The food is really good. It's a lot more healthier options, so sometimes when you eat theme park food, you feel kind of weighed down and kind of sluggish the rest of the day, but this one I don't. Plus, it's right there in the middle of Magic Kingdom, so you're not having to take time out of your park day to go to a resort for a buffet meal. It's just nice to have it right there in the middle of Magic Kingdom. My favorite ride would probably have to be Everest. I also, Tower of Terror is a close second. Everest is just really fun. It's like the biggest thrill ride that they have, I think, on property, in my opinion, and I just love it so much. Plus, you can see like Epcot and Disney Springs when you're going up the incline, and I just love looking around and like seeing what everything is. Fun tip, I love the back of it. We've ridden in the front, in the middle, and the back, but the front is kind of boring. I don't know if Everest can be boring, but like when it lets you go on the like hills, you're already halfway down it by the time it actually like releases you. And so if you're in the back, you get more of a drop out of that. My favorite dark ride. Does People Mover count? But if People Mover doesn't count, then I would say the Grand Fiesta Tour starring the Three Caballeros, just because I love them. And it's such a fun little ride, and it's inside the Mexico Pavilion, which is one of my favorite pavilions because it's inside, it's nice and cool. I love the Three Caballeros song. It's just fun. It gets stuck in my head all day. I'll just go around singing it. It's great. My favorite mode of transportation at the parks is the monorail. The Skyliner's fun. It just, if I'm sitting backwards on it, it makes me a little like nauseous, just a little bit. But the monorail's fun. It's futuristic. I love going to Epcot on the monorail because you come around and you just like go around the park, and it's so fun to just be like all the anticipation of your park day at Epcot, and you just see everything that you want to do while you're on the monorail, and it's almost like the monorail can't go around fast enough because you're just wanting to get off and like be down there at Epcot. My favorite movie. This is tough. I have a lot. It's probably Lilo and Stitch. I love it. It helped me get through some tough times in college, which sounds weird, but it really did. And yeah, Lilo and Stitch. My favorite Disney princess would have to be Belle. I actually didn't see Beauty and the Beast until I was about 16, and because my mom didn't let me watch a lot of princess movies growing up because she thought a lot of them were just the princess like laying around or like sleeping waiting for their prince to come and save them. Beauty and the Beast really isn't about that. I think Belle's a very strong female character. She loves reading. I love reading. I used to get in trouble as a kid for reading. And I would get in trouble in class for reading all the time. I just really love Belle because she sticks up for what she knows is right and doesn't let the villain man Gaston get to her. And she doesn't let him control her, and I just really like her. My favorite non-princess character? Probably Marie, just because she's cute and sassy, and I love cats. And yeah, fun fact, I have a stuffed animal of Marie, and Gypsy is like always attacking her. I have other stuffed animals, like I have Stitch and like my teddy bear that I've had since I was little. Nope, she doesn't care. She just doesn't like that there's another cat in the house. I don't get it, but you know, cats are irrational. So there's 4 Disney things that I collect. I collect ears. As you can see, let's see. I've got a lot of ears up there. I'll do a video for my full ear collection sometime soon. I'll probably buy more ears in between now and then. It's a problem. Pins. I got started collecting pins in 2016, and then for those of you that collect pins, you understand. It all just went downhill from there. These are my limited edition and limited release pins. This is how I store them. I keep them on their backing and then push them into this cork board. These are most of my non-limited edition ones. I have a whole lot. All my princess ones are off this board because I was working on a project with them for how I'm working on storing all of my pins from now on. So they'll all move off this board and onto individual boards based on their theming. So all my Star Wars will be on one, all my princess will be on one, but that's a project I'm still working on right now. I also collect magic bands. These aren't all of them, these are just all the ones that would fit on here. Fun fact, my cat loves magic bands. I guess she likes the way the rubber tastes, but if I just set them on the counter, they'll be gone because she takes them and just likes chewing on them. So I have to keep them up on a shelf where she can't get to them. I guess she just really wants to go to Disney World, I don't know. I also collect press pennies, which is my cheapest collection that I have. I'm not happy that they're doing away with a lot of the manual press penny machines. Like, I like putting in my 2 quarters and my penny and pushing it in and then spinning it to get the one I want. Like, just pressing a button or, you know, swiping a credit card. It's not the same thing, and it's more expensive. But anytime I see one that I like, I don't do all of them, but if I see them that have a nice theming or like a character that I like, I'll go and do my little press penny thing. So that's just a little bit about me and how this channel came about. Let me know in the comments if we have anything in common, or if you're just totally appalled by one of my park choices or like my favorite snack or anything. Be sure to subscribe. Hopefully the launch will happen tomorrow. It's storming right now, and this is about the time that the launch would have happened, even though I hear they scrubbed it for a mechanical issue, but the weather would have been an issue anyway. Hoping tomorrow will be good, and I'll have that video up tomorrow evening for y'all. This is Gypsy. She's never been to Disney World. How do you feel about that we never take you to Disney World? Hey, quit eating that. Quit eating that too. No, can you not do that?